Okay, alright, guys, what's good? Once again, it's K9 Trades here. Alright, I'm still documenting the whole process, still trying to push forward. Okay, so with me here, I have um, my trading journal. I have like the guide on how I want to be trading or how I will be trading like continuously. So I told you guys I will start from the five rules of trading. Sorry, the five truths of trading. Then we'll now go to the seven principles, and then we can now go to the errors. Okay, so for the five truths of trading, alright. So trading, as we all know, is a probabilistic um approach. Okay, and trading is not something that is certain. It's based on probability. So at least to the best of my own understanding, how we are able to, you know, you might be wondering, okay, if it's probability, that means it's like 50-50, right? So it's like the casino and the player, okay? So I see it like as the casino and the player. So for instance, let's say each of them we have equal 50-50 chances of us winning or losing. But the casino has a strategy. Obviously, the casino doesn't set up a casino in order to lose. Okay, so what does it do? So it has an edge. It has like that, maybe like 10% thing. That thing that gives you like 10% insurance over the player, that makes it to say, okay, under this certain conditions, under this certain time frame, under this certain um market conditions, we are able to take a trade. We are able to, have an edge over the player or the gambler. Okay, so in this case now we're trying to trade like the casino. All right, so we're trying to trade like the casino, and we're trying to think as the casino would. Okay, that's what we're trying to do in this space. Okay, so what are the things that we need to know? What are the things that we need to do? Okay, so the edge in this context is literally your setup. Okay, your what defines your setup, what defines, you know all those things. So that is your edge. Okay, so you want to trade like the casino, or you want to think as the casino. So quickly we'll be diving into the five truths of trading that I will be, using. So first one is that anything can happen. Okay, trader, as a trader, you know that anything can happen. The market can go against you or for you. Okay, because like Trump can just come up. Like, I don't trade forex, but like the time that I traded, I don't trade. Okay, let me be specific. I don't trade forex pairs. Okay, so the time that I was trading for, that's like currencies. So like USD, BTC, BTC USD, Nasdaq, and the rest. So the time that I was trading that, you know maybe news affects the market. Okay, obviously we all know that news affects the market. So in a case whereby maybe Trump comes and is like, oh, okay, maybe he says something, or Fed Chairman Powell just comes and just gives one good afternoon. You all know what I'm talking about. If you're a real trader in the space, you understand what I'm saying. So, but yeah, anything can happen. Okay, so you need to have that at the back of your mind, that nothing is certain in this place. Remember, I said that it's probabilistic. So another truth, the second truth is, I don't need to know what happens next. Okay, you don't need to know what happens next in the market as a trader. All you have to do, you have to just see your edge. Once you see your edge, whether it's a risk, whether it's a win or a loss, you don't care. Okay, you're detached from the outcome. So you want to just take your setup once you have seen it, because you know that, okay, under this certain market conditions, due to how I've been seeing the patterns repeat in the past, you're taking trade off of it, to either a buy or a sell based on what the market is showing you, as like an extra prediction that, okay, market is actually going to go in this direction, or market is not going to go in that direction. Okay, that's the second truth. So you don't need to know what happens next. Then three, there is a random distribution of wins and losses. Okay, W's and L's. Okay, so there's a random distribution in the market between what the wins and the losses. So it's not it's not a strict set. It's not something that is rigid. Okay, something that again has to do with probability. Okay, so I need to know that as I'm trading. Then there is a random distribution of wins and losses for any set of variable defining an edge. Okay, I've already said that. Then edge is nothing but an indication of the higher probability of something happening over another. So like I explained earlier, the edge just gives you like okay a plus one advantage over the market. Okay, you're trying to think again like the casino as the trader. Okay, so you're trying to think like them and know what under these certain conditions that this is the advantage that they have over the 50-50 chance that they have in the market, thereby making it like a bit unequal, like making it a bit more in their favor. Okay, if you will. Sorry, my camera is shaking. Let me set this up so I don't fall. Okay, I think I'll be alright. So let's go to the well, I've done the first one, anything can happen. The second one, I don't need to know what happens next in the market to make money. Then the third one, there's a random distribution of wins and losses. Okay. Um for any set of variable defining an edge. Then fourth one, edge is nothing but an indication of the higher probability of something happening over another. Okay, I've already said the fourth one. Then the fifth one is that every trade in the market is unique. So regardless of your past experiences with the market, okay, every trade is literally unique. They have their own unique setup. They have their own unique how do I call it resources or outcome or predictabilities. Okay, so for every trade that you want to take or every trade that a trader enters, okay, in that trade or for him to have taken that trade, okay, there are some amount of people or for the market to reach a certain level, there's a specific amount of traders that have already, they have their own beliefs in their head, they have their own biases. It's not just one person that's trading, so there are other people in this trading space that are also trading that is affecting the market, the big boys, the market movers, as we may presume. Okay, all those big guys, big men. Okay, so people like the banks. All right, so when they put money that is able to shift the market, they have their own biases or their own beliefs that the market should head in this direction for them or in the other direction. So when they have that type of thing, it's like it's not just them. Okay, so there are other people that are also trading at the same time. There are a lot of people in different locations that are you know saying okay, to go down at this point, to go down at this point, to go up at this point. So if another instance or the next day you are still thinking that okay, because I lost yesterday I might lose today. Okay, so that is like you saying that the amount of traders that traded yesterday will still be the same amount of traders that will trade the next day, or the amount of traders that, or the time that they put their trade, or the buyers that they had is still the same, which is not possible because obviously there are a lot of people, all right, that are doing it at the same time, and obviously not everybody will be willing to put in a trade at the next setup. Okay, or the next you know um chance that they get. Sometimes they might decide to just hold back, or they might decide to take another day. Okay, so that's just um what they call it. That's just the theory for that fifth truth. Okay, so I've looked at all the five truths. Anything can happen in the market. I don't need to know what happens next to be able to make money. There's a random distribution of wins and losses for any set of variable defining an edge. Edge is nothing but an indication of the high probability of something happening over another. Then every trade in the market is unique, alright, regardless of your past experience, whether a win or a loss. Okay, so like you seeing a dog. Okay, you see a dog, the dog beats you for the first time, alright, but it's not all dogs that are like that. Obviously, we all know that. Or some of us that don't have phobia for dogs already know that. So, you know, in as much as a dog has bitten you, will not say that, oh, okay, all dogs are like that. You understand? So that's just like your own bias. So now let's go on to the seven principles that I'm going to follow. So, excuse me, for these seven principles. So we can only be a consistent winner if I objectively identify my edges. So for me, it's when I see liquidity sweep, break of structure, and then my confirmation is either a fair value gap or another block. So that is my edge, alright. On the 15 minutes, I take that on the 15 minutes after defining my hits for buyers, alright. Then I predefine risk of every trade. So I want to know that okay, I'm losing max I'm losing on this trade is like maybe $10, or max that I'm, you know, losing this $100 depending on the average. Okay, so then another thing is I am willing to let go of the trade. I accept the risk. Okay, so and in as much as they have okay, so some people are traders, all right, but they don't they set risks, they take risks, but they have not, the fact that they took the risk doesn't make them a risk taker. Why? Because they have not accepted the risk. Okay, you have to accept the risk in order for you to actually be a risk taker. Okay, then I act on my edges without hesitation or reservation. So whenever we see, like I said, the trade is independent of each and every circumstance. So the trade is unique in its own way. Okay, so we act on our trades without hesitation or reservation. Then I pay myself as the market makes money available to me. So what this means is, okay, when you have when you see that the market is going in your favor, you don't just leave it out there in the sun for, you know, the trade to come and take it away again. Just in case of a reversal, what you actually do is that okay, you actually take partial profits. Okay, so you take a particular amount and leave the trade to run, and this puts you in a good situation whereby you can have a risk-free trade. Okay, so that risk-free trade will not allow you to say, oh, okay, yeah, I don't care about this. And what this does about this trade, and what this does is that it actually just gives you this good mindset and good headspace, and like, oh, win or loss, I'm fine because I already have profit that I've already taken out of the market. Sounds cool. Now let's continue. Then I know and I monitor the possibility of my errors and take responsibility. Sometimes, I think I saw the other video that I did where I made an error. Instead of taking the bearish trade, I was looking for buys, which was an error. Okay, so in that trade, you know, we made an error and then we take full responsibility for it. Some traders are like, okay, because anybody can be a trader, and some traders are like, okay, um it's the market's fault, or it's because of what fed fed chairman Powell says. First of all, why are you taking news? Okay, like for me personally, I don't know, but like I don't take news. Like if I was still to trade currencies, I won't take news, because news is just, it's high impact and it's very very unpredictable. Okay, so why won't I just wait for my setup, for my edge to just play out, all right, and I'll be fine. Okay, so that's that for that. Then I understand the absolute necessity of these principles of success, and therefore I never violate them. So what I want to do is to keep on applying these principles and try as much as possible not to violate them, which will require discipline. Okay, this will require discipline and, you know, a good headspace. So again, once more, a recap. I objectively define my edges, or I objectively identify my edges. I predefine risk of every trade. I am willing to let go of the trade. That means I am willing to accept the risk totally. That, oh, I can literally lose this and I'll still be fine. Okay. And I act on my trade, my edge without hesitation or reservation. I pay myself as the market pays me, or as the market money makes available to me. As the market makes money available to me, I know and I monitor the possibility of me making errors, and I take full responsibility, and I understand the full responsibility and necessity of these principles of success. Therefore, I never violate them. Now let's go into the errors. So the last one for the video, we're going into the errors. Okay, so the errors is one, when we hesitate to take market, trade, when we hesitate to take a trade, and then you see that the market is still playing out, so we literally leave money on the table just hanging there, and it's like, wow, this I could have gotten a profit, but because I was too scared, I left money on the table and didn't end up getting anything. Okay, jumping the gun, still the same thing, not predefining risk. Okay, you just place buy, place sell, you did not put stop loss, you did not put take profit. Once in a while, once upon a time, I was like that. I thought that you don't need stop loss. Like, I thought you don't need take profit, unless if you're a scalper. And scalper are like maybe like 1 minute, 2 minutes, possibly 5 minutes, depends. But those are scalpers. Okay, they take short term trade. Okay, so unless we are a scalper, like defining your risk is very very much necessary. Okay, refusing to take losses and letting it turn to a big loser. When you refuse to take losses, maybe you now increase your stop loss, that kind of thing, or you see that okay, the market has given you an indication that, bro, I'm tired, I am ending it here. Like, the market literally gives you that kind of like sign, but due to whatever reasons you left it or you increased the stop loss. Okay, then what else? Getting out of a winning trade too early. Okay, so like I said, the max you can do is to just take partials. Okay, but you getting out of a trade too early is very very, it's an error. Moving stop loss closer to entry point. Yeah, there's a level you get to. Okay, so like moving stop loss that is way too close, you didn't give space for spread, you didn't give space for the market to maybe retrace a bit. Okay, so getting stopped out and watching market go back in your favor. Okay, so that is very common. Like, that's very common for me. Over trading and over leveraging. So when you over trade due to revenge trading, or you over leverage, that's another thing that could cause errors in the market. Alright, so those are the errors. So let's go by it again. Errors: hesitation, jumping the gun, not predefining risk, refusing to take losses and letting it turn into a bigger loser, getting out of winning trade too early, not taking profit out of winning trades, letting winners turn to losers, moving stop loss closer to entry points, getting stopped out and watching market go back in your favor, over trading and over leveraging. Okay, so these are the errors. So I just gave you the 5 truths, the 7 principles, and the errors that literally defines my trading. Okay, so hopefully I appreciate it if you have made it to the end of this video. Hopefully the documentary still goes on. Okay, so like I said, this is just a documentary. This is not really to like teach people how to trade yet. Okay, because this is just a documentary in the forex space. Like, this is just like, okay, this is what I'm doing, this is how I got here. Alright, this is the daily life of a day trader. Okay, that is trying to make, a win, or not just a win, that is trying to make, not actually just a win, but like trying to make consistent profitability. Okay, because there's a difference between you being profitable and you actually getting consistently profitable. Okay, so that's it for the video. I appreciate it if you know stuck to the end. Alright, I'll see you guys in the next one. This is Simply Forex, guys. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.